right knee stays in game condition, so to speak, getting some rest. They got a back-to-back tomorrow in Milwaukee. Rudy Gay, the veteran, now in his 17th season, out with a right heel injury. All right, now let's hear from the head coach of the Bulls, Billy Donovan, talking about Patrick Williams.
Still probably a little bit shocked. I mean, I talked to him yesterday and I talked to him this morning. I think he's trying to process it all. He's never been with the ankle injury. He's never gone through that. He's never had surgery before. I mean, this is totally new for him. My concern, is he's going to obviously have to keep his hand immobilized for a while. And it's going to really, really inhibit or limit the things that he can even do physically, to stay in shape. It'll probably be some time before he can get on a stationary bike because he's not going to be able to grip anything. He's got to keep his hand in a certain position for a while. I think, as a young player, how well we got to help him maximizing and utilizing his time because he's going to have a lot of free time. From the standpoint, even if he comes in and is able to ride the bike or is able to do even like lower body lifting or things that he can do, for an hour, there's 23 hours left. I think his nutrition becomes heavily critical, about how he can take care of himself. He's probably going to lose a significant amount of muscle mass just in his upper body, because he's not going to be able to lift or do anything from that. Our medical guys, I think, with whatever he's allowed to do, will do a great job, getting him involved as quickly as possible. I think it will be important. I don't know what the feeling is in terms of travel, is him being in one place so that handles some before he gets traveling. But I think the more we can keep him engaged with our team, because I think what happens is the season's going on, these games are coming and coming and coming, and he can feel like he's over here on island. I think it's going to be important we keep him there because he's going to need some direction and help because he's never gone through this before. And this is new to him. And never mind, having an ankle injury, he was out for 3.5, 4 weeks. I mean, this is going to be months. And, there's a lot. I'm hopeful that when he comes out of this, that he can spend some time with Kobe because Kobe's had a similar situation, with obviously his shoulder and being out for a significant time of, maybe what were things that he could have handled better? What were things that were productive and helpful to him? So I just think there's a lot he's processing right now. I think once the surgery's out and some time passes by, we'll have to lay out a pretty good plan to help him going forward.
Coach, we're going to take one more from Joe on Zoom here. Go ahead, Joe.
Billy, how you doing?
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Good. Hey, how to have both Kobe and Patrick, back-to-back guys that you really want to develop, kind of slowed with injuries. How tough is it for an organization to overcome from a developmental standpoint?
Yeah, I think it's tough, Joe. I mean, I think anytime you lose good players, it's tough. Both those guys, we're key pieces, so to speak, as you look going into this year. Kobe's obviously going to be able to play this year at some point. I think their development, especially with a veteran group, would have been really important. I think any those good players, there's always things you have to overcome that are challenging. And I do, the biggest thing I think you said that I agree with there is I just don't know, because I haven't really seen Kobe yet, against any contact, how far is he set back, in terms of him getting back to, his normal, what he's been, and did he lose, a development piece with this injury being out for so many months?
That's the head coach of your Chicago Bulls, Billy Donovan. Bill and I will have the starting lineups and play-by-play coming up next, right here on the home of the Bulls, 670 The Score and the Bulls Radio Network.
This is the radio home of the Bulls.
Ball game over. Bulls win.
Listen to Chuck and Bill call all the action right here on the Chicago Bulls Radio Network.
Farmers Policy Perks are that little extra something you can get when you're a Farmers customer. So to tell you about them, we're adding a little extra something to this ad. A backup singer.
Ooh, singer.
When you have the Farmers Signal app with Crash Assist.
Crash Assist.
If you have an auto accident.
We can send help if you want it.
Wow, that sounds like a whole lot of something. Get a quote at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available with select Farmers branded policies. Subject to terms and conditions. Underwritten by Farmers Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. You want to know what wagertainment is? It's the picks, the analysis, the information, mixed with the laughter and the entertainment, smart sports betting content that'll put a smile on your face.
The BetQL Network, streaming live each day and helping you bet smarter.
If you're a sports fan, you know why you should listen. It's sports betting content without the BS. No hot takes, no nonsense.
The BetQL Network, streaming live right now on Odyssey.
Sports, bets, and entertainment.
Hey, I'm Peter Bukowski, host of the Locked On Today podcast. Trying to stay on top of every big story in sports is a full-time job. I know, because it is my full-time job. But it's not yours. That's why we have a network of local experts ready to give you the inside scoop on everything you truly need to know in the sports world. And we do it every day to make sure you're always caught up on the latest and greatest in sports. Listen to the Locked On Today podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts.
Man, there are a lot of podcasts out there.
Definitely. I mean, there's 3 million shows, 50 million episodes, and more every day.
I mean, who has the time to figure out which ones are the best podcasts?
We do. That's who. What's up, guys? I am Alicia Renee.
And I'm Dax Holt.
And we are your host of Pod Sauce, a podcast discovery show.
Look at us as your podcast concierge.
We do all the work for you. We listen to the shows, review them,
pick the best episodes, and interview the hosts.
Pod Sauce. Let us help you find your next binge. Tell them where to go, Dax.
Go to podsauce.com.
Hey, Bulls fans, join me, Bill Wennington, and the voice of the Bulls, Chuck Swirsky, right here on The Score for all the action of Chicago Bulls basketball.
Zach LaVine has just put the Bulls in front on a steal and a slam. Left side three ball. Got it. Bulls have busted this baby wide open.
Hear every exciting play of Bulls basketball here on Sports Radio 670 The Score and 670thescore.com, Chicago's official radio home of the Bulls.
The following is a presentation of Odyssey, presented by the official Unsolved Mysteries podcast with never heard before mysteries on the Odyssey app and wherever you listen to podcasts.
The following is a presentation of Chicago Bulls basketball and 670 The Score. The Bulls are now on the air.
Left wing ball, open three, got it. Knocked loose by Io. Io down the floor with a right-handed slam dunk. LaVine topside, open three, yes! Gives it up to a cutting boot. To the rim with a left-handed slam dunk. Hunter Caruso for three, good. Back-to-back jacks.
Bulls basketball is brought to you by Bet Rivers. Download the Bet Rivers Sportsbook app today. Duncan, and by Insure on the Spot. Now with the home team call, here's three-time NBA champion Bill Wennington and the voice of the Bulls, Chuck Swirsky.
Live from the United Center in the beautiful city of Chicago, it's time for exciting Chicago Bulls basketball. And tonight, the Bulls at 4-1 entertain the 4-0 Utah Jazz. Alongside three-time NBA champion Bill Wennington, the best engineer in the NBA, Rich Wyatt, and our 670 The Score studios, Adam Stasinski, Brian Callahan, Zach Zaitman, post-game coverage. It's always a pleasure. Bulls and Jazz. And Bill's going to have keys to the ball game at a moment. But first, station ID on the Bulls Basketball Network.
It's Dan Bernstein. Get your Bulls talk right here on the Bernstein and Rahimi Show, 9 a.m. to noon on Sports Radio 670 The Score and Odyssey Station, WSCR and HD Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago.
All right, our keys to the game sponsored by Anthony Buick, GMC and Gurney. You've got a friend at Anthony. And Bill, how do you size this one up?
Well, this is obviously a very good Utah Jazz team. A lot of people had them picked the number one in the league, and they are right now. And in the pregame, I talked about rebounding, so I don't want to be redundant and talk about that again. What they do, though, this Utah team, is they get to the foul line 24 times a game. That's number one in the NBA. And they make 19 foul shots a game. That's also number one in the NBA. Bulls shooting the best free throw shooting percentage in the NBA at 87%, but Utah not far behind them, 81%. So this team does obviously very well. They rebound very well, and they get to the foul line and make foul shots very well. Bulls are going to have to play a good game, not send this team to the three-point line. You can't foul three-point shooters, but you have to defend them well. And that's one thing the Bulls have done well so far this season, defensively challenged shots. They're going to be put to the test tonight on both the three-point line and the foul line by this Utah Jazz team.
All right, without Williams, Bill, let's break this down for a moment. For Billy Donovan and for the team, as far as where do you go from here as far as minutes, starting, matchups,
Well, good news, bad news. Bad news. The bad news is Williams was a very good defender, and he was guarding the bigs that could score a lot, either down low or out on the perimeter. The bad news is he wasn't rebounding really well for the Bullets. He was only averaging about 2 rebounds a game. We need to get him rebounding more. In the preseason games that he was not able to play, Javonte Green played, and I thought he did very well with his energy. Now, he's even more undersized, but he has a high motor. He works really hard. Hopefully that'll be enough here tonight to kind of cover a little bit for Patrick Williams, but it's going to be really done by committee. You're going to have him come in well. You're going to have Bradley's going to have to come in and play some big minutes, more minutes tonight. And then obviously Johnson, Elijah Johnson's going to have to come in and play also with his energy and motor getting up and down the floor. So everyone's going to have to come and do their part. Billy Donovan's going to have to mix it up a lot. We may see a lot of quick changes if things don't go well early.
All right, I'm going to give you an X factor. Derek Jones Jr. We've seen him with Miami, Phoenix, Portland. Very, very athletic, as we know, slam dunk champ. But let's put that aside. He was brought over in that 3-team deal with Cleveland in the marketing situation. So, I mean, you talk about this all the time with kids at basketball clinics, and that word is
opportunity.
Yes.
And so far, we haven't seen it. He's only played in one game this year and in very limited minutes as he went in and, what did he play? 2 minutes in was the second game of the season. So, it's going to be tough to see what he can do. I can't speak on it because, what he did last year, the years before, is pretty good. We've seen what he can do, but see how he fits in here, and he's going to get the opportunity. Someone's going to play. Guys are going to play tonight